Hello, welcome here to this brand new session. I'm excited to be here with you. My name is Dr. Faith Elizabeth Nanyonga, and in this workshop, I'm going to take you in two ways how to arrive at career clarity. And what we're going to look at how to boost your confidence, package your skill set, and find career fulfillment while establishing your personal brand. So you are in the right place if you are wasting a lot of time and money, of course, applying for jobs, wishing that you're called for interviews. You're doing something that you are not engaged in, and therefore you're not moving ahead in your career. You're struggling to earn your value, making it a challenging thing for you to enjoy your career path. You're missing out on opportunities because you don't know how to establish your career presence. So prospective opportunities cannot find you. And no one is noticing your hard work, no one is noticing what you're good at, no employer is contacting you, no hiring managers are contacting you. So this week, what you're going to learn how to reframe your mindset to align to your career vision, how to gain clarity on where you're going, and have a well-established career plan on how to get there. I'm asking, who wouldn't want this? You're going to learn how to consistently earn your value because you have the competitive edge with what you bring on the table. Then you're going to learn how to attract opportunities that give you that competitive edge, which means you'll have more prospects, more jobs, more promotions, and freedom. And the list is endless. So, about myself, I'm a Ugandan born living in Australia, and I studied in Uganda for most of my studies. And I come from a very humble family. I'm the last born of five, and by the time I was born, my parents were almost retiring. By the time I finished primary school, my parents had retired. So, meaning they were living on pension and just little money to live by. So, I knew that hard work was something that I had to put in my career to get ahead. And this is exactly what I did. So, I advanced my career and I studied so hard in school and excelled in my studies. Then, after finishing my undergraduate in 2011, I landed my first job. By the time I landed this job, I knew I'd landed the best thing. Okay, to take you a little bit further, in 2011, after I finished my undergraduate, I searched for jobs and jobs left, right, and center, but I couldn't get a job because no one employs people who have no working experience. The job market is saturated, and I was applying for job after job. I didn't have a mentor to guide me, and I also had no career direction. All I wanted to do is that I wanted to be a biomedical researcher, which is what I do today. But during this process of me doing the hard work and finding my first job, I went through a lot of roadblocks that stopped me from advancing my career. And in 2011, I landed my job after struggle of lots of things. I had to volunteer for almost a year to make sure I built up on my working experience because us as people who do biomedical research or anything related to sciences, most times you need to show that you have the experience. Your theoretical knowledge is not going to cut it. You have to show that you have the experience. And the only way I could get this experience was through voluntary work. I did a lot of voluntary work with different organizations in Uganda. And after that, it's that voluntary work that helped me get the experience that I used to get my first job. So I landed my dream job with more than a decent pay as a recent graduate, and life was really good. Then, after landing that job, you know what happened? I started a job, and in no time, I realized that the job was just a job. People were very complacent. I didn't have people to guide me in terms of advancing my career. And I knew that only a bachelor's degree wouldn't cut it for me to get ahead in my career. But during that time, I faced a lot of opposition from my manager. Every time I would ask him for references to apply for scholarships to study abroad, he would be like, "No, I can't give you a scholarship. If you close your business, will you eat? You can't go. If you have to get a master's scholarship, you have to resign your job." While other people would go and study masters and return back home in Uganda and continue with their jobs. Me, I didn't have that option. And also, he didn't send my recommendations when I needed him to, until a time I had to take matters into my hand and look for myself a mentor. There's one of my mentors is called Chris. He came to work in Uganda and he was working for the Adjacent Research Organization. I approached him, I gave him my idea and my career vision where I saw myself. And he helped me establish a career vision. He helped me apply for scholarships. He recommended me. He guided me and became my mentor. But during this process, he helped me do the deep work. The deep work meant that I looked at my career in terms of my mindset. What were those self-limiting beliefs that are stopping me from getting ahead? Of course, I've already explained my manager wasn't supporting, so I had it on my mind. I'm like, even if I apply for this scholarship, I won't get it because my manager is not supporting me, right? He helped me establish a career vision that gave me the clarity. He was like, if you want to do this, do you know the steps you need to get there? Of course, I came up with the steps and he was like, no, I think from these steps, you can decide to take this route, you can take this route. And the good thing with having a mentor guides you, but also doesn't dictate exactly what you need to do. So he helped me start getting out of my shell and figure out what I was good at, how good I was at that thing that I had figured out. He helped me figure out what I needed to do to get ahead. And lo and behold, in 2013, I won one of the most prestigious scholarships to study at the University of Manchester. And this is me at the University of Manchester. And while I went to University of Manchester, I had it in the back of my mind that I had a career vision that I had established with the help of my mentor. And it helped me stay grounded. While I was there, I made sure I built my personal brand. That's why I appeared in this magazine and these prospectus, because I had a personal brand that people mentioned my name and were like, Faith does this, right? And if you're to go to the website of University of Manchester and just type in Faith Nanyonga, you'll see a profile of my career plan as I'd established it then. So it's from this that I learned how to do the deep work, how to find career clarity, how to establish my own career vision, how to establish my own career purpose. And after my master's, I knew exactly what I needed to do while everyone else was scrambling. Oh, if I go back to my home country, I want to have a job. Me, I already had a plan of where I saw myself. And that's why I'm in Australia, because I came to Australia to do my PhD. So to cut the story short, that's my career in a nutshell. From a humble beginning to a stressful transition into the corporate world, to finding a mentor, to establishing my career path, and to getting ahead. That's where I am. So in today's session, I'm going to take you today in the work I had to do to get where I am. What you're going to look at my signature framework that I've used in my own personal career to get ahead and find career fulfillment. What I've not mentioned is that now I work for a small biotech company, but because its career vision and career purpose aligns to my career vision and purpose, we are like a match made in heaven. So what I do there is that we design antivirals to treat all the diseases that we have, including COVID, dengue, West Nile, Japanese encephalitis, like different viral infections. And that's exactly what lights up my mind and lights up my world. So in my signature framework, what I've noticed, and also what you can tell from my story, is I was an overwhelmed professional. I had the self-belief, because I've explained to you that when I went to my first job, I was there, but I was like, you know what? I deserve better. I had a bit of support, but I didn't have the strategy. Initially, I didn't have even the support. I had to just get the support, but I didn't have the strategy. And when I got myself the mentor that I've already explained, things turned, things changed. So with an overwhelmed profession, what you have is that you have the self-belief and support, but you lack the strategy. You are overwhelmed and stuck in a rut. Since you have no strategy, you chase every idea that comes your way. That was me. I used to apply. I remember when I was looking for my master's, I applied to over 30 universities in Europe, Sweden, Denmark, Sweden, Denmark, Belgium, all those universities that are put in the UK, I applied to University of Nottingham, University of Manchester, University of London, London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine, Nagasaki. In Canada, I applied. In Australia, I applied. I chased everything because I didn't have a strategy. And any idea that came into my mind in terms of advancing my career, I always took it up. Then at the end of my 2 years, almost my 2 years in that job, I didn't have anything to show. I didn't have a publication. I didn't have a personal brand. I didn't have anything because I was just chasing each and everything that I thought could benefit my career. So what I craved at that point of my career is that I craved a streamlined structure, tools and systems to gain clarity and get ahead in my career. That was me, an overwhelmed career profession. The next profession I've noticed is the inconsistent one. Inconsistent, as you hear it, is that you have the strategy and self-belief, but you lack the support. The support might be a person to guide you to get ahead. The support might be a person to tell you, no, don't take that route. Take this route. Or you're slacking on your motivation. Why aren't you doing this, right? You have an idea of what you need to advance your career, but you don't know how to. You lack the motivation to show up every day as your best self. You give up so easily when you hit a roadblock, meaning that you don't see the results that you intend to get. And at the end of the year, day, month, you don't have any results. So you see your fellow professionals getting ahead, landing opportunities, but for you, you're stuck because of your inconsistency. So this person of a profession, what you do is that you crave zeal, direction, support to launch into your career dream. And this is something that I've done to help many people get ahead by being that person who will be like, you know what, Mary, what you did is not right. You need to show up for this. You said you're applying for scholarships and you haven't sent out scholarships, or you said you're applying for jobs but you've only sent up one job a full month. What are you up to? You need that person to push you. You need that person to help you figure out the direction in which you need to go to, and the support and the belief to believe that, you know what, I can get ahead. The last person is the unconfident professional. What happens with the unconfident professional is that you're actually savvy in your career strategy. You know, like, oh, since I want to get ahead, I think I need a postgraduate diploma. From a postgraduate diploma, I need to ask for promotion at work. From a promotion at work, I need to probably attend some conferences or present my work. You know exactly what you need to do, but the thing is that you lack the confidence to follow suit of what you say you're going to do. You don't believe in your own capabilities. This happens to many women. Many women are very unconfident that we sell ourselves short of our skills. You keep hoping that someday someone will notice you, someone will notice your hard work, and the career freedom will fall in line. You also cannot articulate your value. I gave an example recently about someone I was coaching. She had worked on a project, and because she wasn't the chief project operation officer or chief project officer, she thought that she didn't qualify to put her name on the project or to state on her resume that she had worked on the project. But I'm like, you know what? She tells me, I did A, B, C, and D. Then I'm like, wow, you did a lot. And she's like, but no, I wasn't the project manager. And I'm like, no. You saying you contributed on a project means that you're being confident and you're owning up to the work that you did. If you just let that work slide and you don't put it on your cover letter, you don't put it in your resume, you don't say that you have the skills that you gained during that project, you're selling yourself short of your skills. No one will know what exactly you're good at if you don't state it. So usually we don't articulate our skills because we downplay our achievements. So this person craves support to get out of their comfort zone to pursue the career they desire. The next thing I'm going to show you is very exciting. Drum roll. So, what exactly does it take to supercharge your career? That's a question worth $1 million. What exactly it takes is that you need to have the self-belief, you need to have the strategy, and you need to have the support. And in the middle, That's where the sweet spot is, right? That's where all the good thing happens. But with self-belief, strategy, and support, these things are broken down into other components. And in those components, we have for you to have self-belief, you have to be clear on where you're going. For you to have self-belief, you have to have the right mindset. For you to have the self-belief, you have to have those two things, the clarity and the mindset. For you to have the strategy, you have to be able to take action. And for you to take action, you have to know your personal brand. So these things work in tandem. So this is something I teach in my career coaching sessions in terms of strategy and getting ahead. I don't want this presentation to be so long, but I'm just giving you an overview. So those three things are what it takes to get ahead in your career. So day one, what are we looking at? We're looking at your mindset. Because if you have a clear mind, that means you have clarity. And to get a clear mind, you have to think about why is mindset very important. Mindset is very important because our thoughts become our words. Most times what we think is what we are going to say. I'm a Christian and I believe in the Bible. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinks, so is he. As you think your thoughts, so they become your words. They become those things that you believe in. They will become your actions. Then they will result into the result that you take. Although most times you don't control the results, but if your thoughts are good, you're like, okay, I think I can start a business. You start saying, oh, I'm going to start a business. Then after you'll be like, but I can start a business. The next thing you might be like, oh, let me enroll into a course to learn more about business, starting a business. Then you get that piece of paper that says, oh, you attended this course. And after you've gotten that piece of paper that says you attended that course, what's going to happen? You'll be like, oh, now I can start the business. So this is the cycle of how our minds works. Our thoughts become our words become our beliefs become our actions, and our actions become our results. So next thing I want you to think about is, I want you to think about, as I've already talked about the mind, what's stopping you from advancing your career? Let's uncover all those things. I want you to get a piece of paper. If you printed out the workbook that comes with this, you'll be able to follow through. Or you can just get a piece of paper and write down all those beliefs, the fears, the notions, the thoughts, the stories that you relate to changing your career. Changing your career might be advancing, might be getting your next promotion, might be switching from one career to another altogether. But think about all those things that you think are stopping you from making that career movement or career change. It might be you're saying, I'm not very qualified. It might be you're saying like, oh, who will employ me? It might be the economy. It might be you're thinking of COVID. Like, think about all those things and write them down. Then the next thing I want you to do is think about something that you'd love to have in your career or you'd love to try. Write down anything in your career that you feel like, oh, if I try this, it would get me from point A to B. Then the third thing I want you to do is to turn these into affirmative sentences and write them down. I'm going to give you an example on the next slide. The example will be how to reset your mindset. Because for you to change your mind, you have to reset it. But you only reset your mind after you know what your mind is made of or what your mind is thinking. The mind strategy has 4 components. The first component is to surface the beliefs. After you surface those beliefs, you hit pause and think about them. The pausing thing is very important because if you don't pause, you can't do the brain dump. The brain dump is that you think about it, and after you've thought about it, you're going to write down all the thoughts that are coming into your mind. Then also create time to reflect. Because to change your mindset, it takes time. A day is not enough for you to have a streamlined mindset. It takes time to change our mindset because our minds make us. They define our identity. So with surfacing beliefs, I want you to think about things that like what you want to do. I'm going to start my business. I'm going to be a digital nomad. I'm going to become a partner at a firm within 10 years. Those are beliefs. You're believing in them. You're believing in them happening. So after you've done that, I want you to look at the posing part. Posing part is where you say, I'm going to start a business, but I'm stressed because, but I worry it might not work, but then you give the reason as to why you think it's not going to work out for you. So after you've done that, then brain dump what you've thought in the heat pause. I suck at numbers. You might be wanting to become an accountant, but you're like, oh, I suck at numbers. I'm not qualified enough. You might be wanting to change from one qualification to another. You might say, I need to start afresh. You might be wanting to change from one qualification to another. Like, think about all those excuses, all those fears that you have, and write them down. Then look back at all those fears and think of the 3 major roadblocks that you're facing right now. And after you've done that, then we are going to rewire the mindset. With rewiring the mindset, what we do is that we catch, then we challenge, then we change. The catching is that you're catching what you want to do. I would love to start a side hustle, but I don't know the first thing about creating my own business. You've caught that thought, you're like, I've gotten it. Then now you're going to challenge it. You're going to challenge that but part. Then you'll be like, but you said you don't know how it means to start a business. But you've had things previously, right? Then you also challenge in such a way that I learned how to drive, right? I learned how to do my current job. I've discovered that if I'm patient and I put in the hard work, I can achieve the success that I want. Those are challenging statements to what your brain is wired to think. So after you've done that, the next thing you do, you write those the ones you discovered in catch, in a positive and affirmative way by saying, I'm intelligent and curious. I've learned complicated things before, and I can learn how to start my business. You see, we've changed from being negative to being positive. And that is very important in rewiring your brain. You need to do this work on a daily. You can't change your mindset in one go. You have to do it over and over again. So for your homework, I would like you to draft out 3 beliefs that are keeping you stuck in your career. Think about them. Then employ the first thing we talked about. Surface the beliefs, then hit pause, then brain dump, then challenge. So after you've done that, draft out challenging statements to counter these beliefs. Then after that, change these beliefs into positive affirmation statements that affirm your credibility. After you've done this assignment, you can submit your assignment to me. My email address is faithliz@theframesolutions.com with the subject line, Day 1, Career Clarity Homework. Only completed submissions will be added into the prize draw. Whoever completes this assignment stands a chance to win a free session with me, a one-to-one session with me, where we shall sit down and establish your career strategy and help you get ahead. Still to come, tomorrow we shall be looking at how to reframe your mindset for clarity, and also we shall look at establishing yourself a credibility cocktail. A credibility cocktail is the one that is going to help you become credible in what you do. Because we always focus on the negative, yet we have a lot of positive things that we are good at. So tomorrow we're going to look at that. And I would like to end this session here. And please, if you've tuned in today and you've done this, please come and interact with me on Instagram. My name is The Frame Solutions. Send me a DM, send me an email in case you have any questions. And I can't wait to speak to you tomorrow in the next session. Have yourself a lovely day, and bye-bye for now.